When you're tired of all the choices out there and you don't know what to do, you can kick back and watch TallGuyEric Reviews.
Hey guys, welcome back to another review. So today we're doing something a little different for this channel. Normally I do monitor reviews, but it's kind of hard to only do monitor reviews when, you know, A, there's only a certain amount of monitors that come out a year. B, you're not buying all those monitors because some are so similar that it's just pointless. So I've decided to branch out a little and start doing other electronics. I have a screen protector review video coming up, but today I'm actually really excited about this video because today I'm going to do a comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra and the OnePlus 12. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe these screen down. Oh my goodness. Let me go ahead and wipe these screens down just a little so they're nice and clean. But basically, I ordered the Samsung when it came out, and I've had the OnePlus for a couple of weeks, and I just wanted to give my thoughts and overall impressions between the two different devices. For a little bit of a background though, I am a former Apple user of 12 years. I drank the Kool-Aid for a very long time. I worked for Apple. I had everything Apple in the world, and then when I left the company, I started to branch out and give Android a try. And I'll be honest with you, at this point, I think I'm Team Android for quite a long time. I'm a big fan. But let's get into what I think of these phones before I start comparing them. So the S24 Ultra I've had since it launched. I've used the S22 and the S23 Ultra. So coming from those two, the S24 Ultra in terms of looks, it's very similar. In terms of performance, I don't want to say it's similar, but those phones were so powerful that it's just hard to be like, yeah, this phone's leaps and bounds better. Like they're just such good phones. And then in terms of the OnePlus, I've used the 7, and that was a very long time ago. I've used the 10 Pro, the 11, and now the 12. I did want to try the Open, but I'm not willing to spend that kind of money on a phone that I'm not too sure about. I've only ever used one foldable phone, and it was cool, but for me, it wasn't worth the money. Just overall, with the S24 Ultra, I have had an amazing experience. The phone itself is great. I have very few issues with my unit. I didn't have a lot of the issues. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't have a lot of the issues that I've seen some people have. My camera didn't have any of like the blurry effects. Unfortunately, I do have the grainy screen effect that I've seen a lot of people complaining about. I think it's called Mura, but I'll get into that a little more whenever I'm doing the comparison between the screens. But the camera is extremely good. Like, in my opinion, I think this camera is better than the 15 Pro Max that I came from. Video quality is incredible. Probably the best I've ever seen on an Android device. And I did have a Pixel 8 Pro before I came to this. And while I think the Pixel 8 Pro gave me overall more solid pictures, it was definitely more reliable. Like, it took pictures... It took amazing pictures more often, where the Samsung, like, one picture can be amazing and then another picture can just be really good. Like, they're never bad, but the Pixel was more reliable in that. But the video quality on the Samsung is definitely much better. Battery life has been an absolute treat. I usually get a day and a half to 2 days. And then build quality is incredible. One of the best built phones I have ever held in my hands. I would go as far as to say I think that this feels and is more reliable in the hand than the iPhone. You know, this is titanium as well, but like this glass is very strong. It feels amazing in the hand. And then the phone itself is just incredible. And then let's get into the OnePlus. So the OnePlus has also been a treat to use. I really, really like the OnePlus 11 a lot. I mean, I absolutely love that phone. The things that I didn't like was the inconsistency of the camera and just a few software issues that I had. They've definitely adjusted that. I think the camera now is really good. I don't think it's as good as the other like flagship Android phones, but I think for a sub 1,000 phone, you're probably not going to get any better other than with the Pixel 8 Pro. Build quality is definitely really good. I do have a few issues. The phone itself, like, it feels great. It looks great. I love this green. I love the sides, how it looks. I even like the curved display, but I prefer a flat display just for screen protectors, to be honest with you. The Samsung is honestly the easiest phone to put screen protectors on I've ever used in my entire life. OnePlus is damn near impossible to get screen protectors. It is almost impossible to get glass. I found the screen protector that's on here is a plastic one I got off of Amazon, and to be honest with you, it is actually really good quality. I have no issues with it, but it is still plastic, so it does scratch really easy. In terms of build quality and my issues, it comes down to two things. One, this green, the aluminum, I guess it's the, what are they, polished, the polished aluminum. It looks really good, but A, it attracts fingerprints like no other, and B, it scratches so easily. I'm talking like, I don't know if I'll be able to get it on camera, but I'm going to try. I really doubt I'm going to be able to. So you can't really see it, but like right here, there's a whole bunch of scratches already, and I don't even know what it came from. Like I don't even really ever put this phone in my pocket, because I'm more of like I keep my phone in my hands or in a case or something, so it just scratches easily. For some, that's probably not going to be a big deal, but for me, it drives me crazy. Especially because like the Samsung I've been using with and without a case pretty evenly. Like I would say it's been 50-50, and there's not a single scratch anywhere on the body of this phone, anywhere on, like it is so scratch resistant. But and then the giant camera, like I don't mind it, but that is a huge lens, so do prepare to possibly get scratches on that. I have seen some people complaining about it, but in terms of performance, it's been incredible. This thing is snappy. It is fast. The new OS that they're running, some people don't like it. I think it's the new Oxygen OS, but I don't mind it. I think it's starting to feel close to stock Android with a light skin over it. It's very fast. It's very, and like in my experience, it's very smooth. I personally kind of prefer it over Samsung's in terms of performance, but customization, Samsung gets a win for me, and I'll get into that in just a second. But overall, performance has been incredible. Battery life is insane. Like probably the best battery I've ever used on a phone. The OnePlus easily gets 2 days, no problem. It's on 19%, and I haven't charged it in 2.5 days. Like battery is crazy. And then, getting into battery on the Samsung, you get 45 watt fast charging, and then you get 15 watt wireless charging. Neither of those are great. The 45 watt, it does its job. Like it charges in an hour, and I will say there are some devices that support Quick Charge 2.0, which I didn't even know was a thing, and it charges like 5 minutes faster. I have a Samsung 67 watt charger that does it, and I have an Anker 67 watt charger that does it. So I don't know what speeds that's charging at, but like the 45 watt charger does not do the 2.0. So, and speaking of, the Anker is actually this guy right here. No sponsorship, just probably my favorite power adapter of all time. Very small. 2 USB-Cs and a USB. Both of these are capable of the 67 watt, and this is 15 watt. I got it for $30 at Target and love it. Absolutely love it. But the OnePlus has had very consistent photo quality. It's not amazing. In the right lighting conditions, I would say it's just as good as any other flagship phone. But if the lighting conditions aren't perfect, that's when you kind of start to see the flaws in OnePlus's camera system. Whereas with the Galaxy, the iPhone, the Pixel, like even in dark environments, you can get amazing pictures. Some of the photos I've taken with the Samsung and like dark environments have been incredible, honestly. But with the OnePlus, you're also getting 80 watt wired charging and 50 watt wireless charging. Now those do come with caveats. So the wired charging, you do have to use the SuperVOOC charger. Thankfully, OnePlus isn't cheap like the other manufacturers and includes a 80 watt SuperVOOC charger. So you get the charger, you get the cable. I actually had a few of those from previous OnePlus phones, so that's nice. But the thing I will tell you is if you don't use that as a SuperVOOC charger, you are going to get slower charging speeds than just about any other phone. I think it's like 15 watt is what I measured whenever I tested it. But with the SuperVoo, you can get up to 80 watt in the US. Now with the 50 watt wireless charging, that I have not been able to test, unfortunately. You do have to have a special wireless charger. I think it's called AirVoo, directly from OnePlus. If you don't use that, you're just getting standard wireless charging speeds. However, 50 watt wireless charging is sick. I wish my Samsung had it, but it is what it is. So then, let's get into the overall, like, how has my experience been using these two phones day to day? What I generally do is I'll go a whole day using the Samsung and I'll go a whole day using the OnePlus. Now, the reason I'm doing that is I'm not keeping the OnePlus. The Samsung's paid off. It's mine, until I end up getting something new or whatever. The Samsung's mine. The OnePlus I bought from Best Buy and I will be returning. But I wanted to give my thoughts and basically say, like, had I not have already purchased the Samsung, would I have went with the OnePlus instead? And that's the answer that I'm going to give you guys in this video. But like, just navigating overall, the Samsung, it's very smooth. You can see that fingerprint scanner, extremely fast. Navigation's really fast. I am using the Nova launcher on my phone, so this is not the stock launcher that Samsung gives you. I love Nova launcher. I think that it is an incredible experience, especially on Samsung phones. I love the icons. But a couple of things that I really like about Samsung is Nova launcher works flawlessly. I've had no issues. You can see I'm running a live wallpaper in the background that is from Wallpaper Engines. It works flawlessly. It doesn't drain my battery. It's been awesome. But you can customize so much on the Samsungs, and I guess I didn't realize just how much you could. But let's go into my settings, for example. So you can see in my settings, I wish I could get this to focus. Let's move this. There we go. Okay, so you can see in my settings, like, the background is light blue, and then the navigation is a like crimson red color. I love that you can do this. You do it all, like I did this. It's called Theme Park, right? Yeah, so right there, Theme Park. You go in there, you can make custom, like you can do a custom theme for the entire phone. You can do custom keyboards. Let me see if I can pop that up real quick. Yeah, so like here's my custom keyboard, which is all blue with the red lettering, so it just kind of blends with everything else. I love that. I absolutely love that. In order to do this, though, there is a couple things that you have to take note of. One, you do have to use Samsung's keyboard for that theme. You can't use the Gboard. Samsung's keyboard definitely has its quirks. I don't think it's nearly as polished as Gboard, but after using it for a while, I do like it. And also, if you want to use those AI settings that Samsung has now, you are going to have to use Samsung's keyboard. It doesn't work with the Gboard. And then two, if you want to do a custom theme, you can go in and do it for light and dark mode, which is awesome. But if you do, like, if you go download a theme from the Samsung store, like you buy one or you get one of the free ones, you have to use the light theme. It will not work on dark. You have to do your own custom to get it to work on dark. But overall, phone has been fast. It's been reliable. I've had very few issues with it. Speed has been incredible. Like I said, the camera's been great. Video quality's great. Battery's been great. Call quality. I mean, we're at the point where call quality, if it's bad, you made a bad phone. It's that simple. I'm loving the Samsung and the Google ecosystem. I'm kind of, I told myself I would never get into another ecosystem after leaving Apple, but I find myself kind of getting into a mixture of the Samsung and the Google. Like, I currently have a Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra, the Samsung phone. I have a Galaxy Watch. I have the Samsung, what is that thing called? The little smart finder, like the like the AirTags, but Samsung's version. And then for Google, like, I have a ton of lights around my room that I can control with Google. I have Google Pixel Buds, which are awesome. So, thankfully those all work seamlessly throughout Android. So like, if I were to switch to another, like if I switch permanently to this OnePlus, I would have no issue getting everything paired to the OnePlus. So, the Android ecosystem is nice in the fact that it's open and you're not locked behind specific things. Um, some of the issues that I've had with this phone, though, I think it's more of an Android thing, but like sometimes Instagram and Facebook just have these weird issues where like I have to close them to get them to work properly. It doesn't happen often, but it does occasionally happen, and when it happens, it's very annoying. Really, that's kind of it though. Like most apps have, it seems like Samsung is slowly becoming the poster child for Android, where everything is just optimized for it. I would like to know that that's just Android becoming better overall, but until I use, more newer model Androids, I really can't say for sure. But I know that like everything I've thrown at this has worked well. I haven't gamed a lot on it. I don't game on my phone. I actually use that Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra. I use it to play video games. Like I actually use it for PlayStation Remote Play, which works flawlessly. So the little gaming I have done, it's about what you would expect. Like it can handle anything you throw at it. That Snapdragon Gen 3 is just insanely good. So performance wise, it's definitely a killer phone. Do I think that it was worth getting the Ultra over the Plus? Probably not. I do really like having titanium though, and I also love this purple color that I was able to get because it's like a dark purple. Those red rings around my camera lens, I ordered those off of Amazon. They're just protectors. But this dark purple, I think it's gorgeous. I had the dark purple iPhone, and I was excited that I was able to get this with the Samsung. But just overall, I am very, very happy with this phone. The S Pen has been fun to use. If I'm out and I need to take a note, I pop it out, I take some notes, and those notes transfer between it and my Galaxy Tab. So it's really seamless and it's awesome. But let's get into the OnePlus. So one last thing I want to touch base on the Samsung. So like I said, fingerprint sensor works great. I've not really had any issues. I basically just registered 2 fingerprints and re-registered when I did screen protector. And I mean, like you can see, rarely do I ever not get it to work first try. So that's awesome, especially coming from like the older Pixels that had problems. It's nice to have that. But what I will say, it's definitely gotten better. I will say that it seems like some of the updates that they've pushed out for the Samsung have fixed the Face ID a little, but the face unlock it's okay. I would say it was bad before, but now it works most of the time in decent lighting. That's what I'll say about it. So it works most of the time in decent lighting. That's where it's at now. But the OnePlus, on the other hand, has some of the best biometrics you can get on a phone. I mean, like the OnePlus is just boom, it's unlocked every single time. You have to really mess up for it not to unlock with that fingerprint unlock. And that is the same for the Face ID as well. The reason that I'm not showing Face ID is with how my camera's set up right now, it'd be really hard to get it to work. So I don't think there's a lot of a point. But Face ID and fingerprint unlock on the OnePlus work flawlessly. It seems like all of the Chinese manufacturers, I guess it's not even Chinese manufacturers because, Samsung's in that boat too. But like all the phones that have more, I guess that they have more of like sway over in the Asia markets, seem to have better biometrics. That's just how it is. Like the Xiaomi 13 Ultra I used had amazing biometrics. The Vivo X90 that I used had amazing biometrics. They're all really, really good for their biometrics. But in terms of overall use and performance, the OnePlus has been just absolutely incredible. It's fast. The battery efficiency is insane. I haven't had any issues with notifications not coming through correctly. I know some people have issues with like OnePlus phones killing apps in the background. I have not had that issue. All of my notifications have been coming through at the same time as the Samsung. And the funny thing is, I know it looks like I'm also using Nova Launcher on this phone, but I'm not. And that's where OnePlus is awesome. So with OnePlus, the default launcher, you can actually change icon packs with icon packs that you have downloaded. And I'll show that real quick. So like if I go to settings and I go into, I think it might be wallpapers and style. Yeah. I can go to icons And then all of the ones that I have downloaded, which is just these two right now, Redline and Viral or Virus, I can press on it and it just installs it like it would with Nova Launcher. So it has that built in, which is good because when I used the Nova Launcher on the OnePlus, it is not very fluid. There was some stuttering, and there was definitely like when I would swipe to go home sometimes, it would lag behind. So Nova Launcher, I mean, it works, but I wouldn't recommend it, especially with everything you can do with the stock launcher. And I like the stock launcher. But performance-wise, the OnePlus has been killer. Like, it does everything I could ever need it to do. There's no stuttering. There's no lag. Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, everything's worked amazingly. It has great cell reception. They both do. Battery life has been absolutely incredible, better than any other phone I've ever used. The camera is definitely a very decent camera. In the right lighting, you're never gonna be disappointed with the pictures you take. Video quality is also really good on this phone. Definitely better than the OnePlus 11 ones because I didn't think the video quality was great on that. Another couple like neat things that the OnePlus has, it has an IR blaster in it. And like you can see, I have LG TV here. I have an LG OLED as my monitor on my desk. And it is pretty cool to just be able to press that IR blaster and sync it to any of the TVs in the house and it work. I use it on all the TVs. It is really fun. I do wish the Samsung had that. But I mean, overall, it's just, overall, I paid $800 for the OnePlus because I got it while it was discounted. And then for the Samsung, and this is actually why I got the Samsung, I was able to trade in. I ordered a Galaxy Note 20 Ultra off of eBay for like $280. I then traded it in the Samsung and got $600 credit. So for the S24 Ultra, the screen protector pack, the leather case, and the Samsung Care Plus, I ended up paying like $820 through the store itself, and then the $280 for the phone that I traded in. So I saved money on the phone overall, and I got a bunch of stuff with it. So that was definitely worth it. But if I were in the position now where I was going to buy a new phone, and I was trying to decide, do I want the Samsung or do I want the OnePlus? If it were me personally, just, value for what you're getting, I would go with the OnePlus. The Ultra has so many amazing things going for it. And, if you're an S Pen, like if you like having a stylus, it's a no-brainer. Ultra's the way to go. The flat display is, I want everyone to go back to a flat display. Curved screens are so nice until you drop them or until you want to put a screen protector on and you're like, wow, this sucks. The Samsung, I have like 6 or 7 screen protectors backup and they all go on perfectly because it's so easy to get on there and there's no curved anything to deal with. The one I have on there now covers the entire screen and has had no issue with the fingerprint. It's been great. The OnePlus, you basically have to accept unless you're willing to try the Loca glue, which I couldn't even find one of those for it right now. Okay, Google thinks I'm talking to it. You're gonna have to deal with having a plastic screen protector, which isn't horrible, but it is, it's just they don't last as long and they do have a tendency to pill much easier. But the OnePlus just offers you so much value for your money, and you're getting every possible flagship spec you could want in a phone that it retails for $900. But if you get it from OnePlus's website, you can still get it for $800 with the trade-in of literally any phone. It doesn't matter. Like get a $10 phone off of eBay, trade it in, get $100 off. You're just getting so much. You get that Snapdragon 8 or Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, yeah, and Gen 3. You get the really good camera that if you're in good lighting, you're going to be very happy with the pictures that it takes. You get the unbelievably fast charging. I just think that everything that you're getting with the OnePlus is a better value than just about any phone on the market right now. Now, you do have a couple things that you need to take note of. One, Samsung phones are essentially the Apple of the Android world. All the case manufacturers worry about Samsung first, or accessory manufacturers in general. So, if you're wanting a sick case or you're wanting some screen protectors, if you're wanting anything for the phone, they're going to have it for the Samsung. Probably not going to have it for the OnePlus. I have dealt with that. If you want a case for the OnePlus, you're going to have to go with like a third party or hope that OnePlus has their 2 cases in stock, which has not been the case for me. They've been sold out every time I've looked. But if that's not something you're worried about, you're just wanting a phone that's going to last and have good performance, the OnePlus is going to do it for you. You do have the software. You do have the software situation where the Samsung will get you, I think it's 6 or 7 years, 7 years of software updates. The OnePlus, I believe, is 4. Now, every time I hear someone talk about that, for me, it does not matter. Now, that is a personal thing, but I will never keep a phone for more than, honestly, probably a year. I'm an upgrader. But even if I were to ever keep it for like 2 years, it's still going to get upgraded. If you're one of those people, you want a phone that when you buy it, it's going to last until the phone literally ends, we'll go with the Samsung, because first of all, you're going to have 7 years of software support. So that's 7 years. You don't have to worry about your phone not getting updates. And then from what I've heard, the repairability of this phone is incredible. Apparently you can get the parts for it easy. Everything is easy to replace. I imagine the OnePlus is probably the same on repairability, but I don't know for sure. But I have heard that the Samsung is it got a really high repair score, which is phenomenal. But yeah, I love both of these phones. They are 2 of the best phones that I have ever used, period. You can't go wrong either way. For me, I'm sticking with the Samsung because, like I said, I've already paid it off and I'm just really loving everything about it. But if you were looking for both and you don't have a preference on like an ecosystem, the OnePlus is going to do everything you could ever possibly want it to. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comment section. The last thing that I'm going to touch base on is this just goes into the value one more time. When you buy the OnePlus, you get an unboxing experience. You get a big red box, and in that box, you get a charger, you get a charging cable, you get some booklets, you get some stickers, you get the OnePlus Red cable card. Like it makes you feel like you spent a lot of money on something that brings you joy to take out of the box. Even you get a SIM card remover. With the Samsung, you do not get that. You get a small black box with a picture of the phone, and it comes with a cable that is not a good cable. It doesn't even support the 45-watt charging, and you get a SIM card remover tool. I hate seeing this. I wish we could go back to the top tier manufacturers giving us stuff that we feel like justifies spending as much money as we do. I don't see it happening, unfortunately, but like OnePlus, Xiaomi, Vivo, Oppo, I believe even like Asus, like maybe Motorola, they're still giving us stuff with our phones. They're still giving us charging bricks. They're still giving us cases and stuff. So, Samsung kind of fucked up there, just to be honest with you. It's sad to see, but, it is what it is. I don't think it's going to change. Everyone's following suit that Apple goes, and you just kind of have to accept it. With that said, that's going to end the video for me, guys. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.
When you're tired of all the choices out there